Thank you guys. Promised and always delivered. I am indeed with a legend here, the 13th world champion, Garry Kasparov. Garry, welcome back to the studio. I called you a legend. Also, yesterday we lost a legend. Yuri Averbakh passed away. Tell us a little bit about that, your experience and your relationship with him.
Oh, look, it's really a legend. It's 100 years, whole century. So we had a little discussion, just recalling our encounters with Averbakh, and I said as the man was the Soviet national champion back in 1954. And I played twice with him, yes. Thank you for having this picture. So March 1974. So I was 10, and it was the match of Baku, Moscow. This is the so-called Grandmaster and Pioneers, when the captain of one team gave a simultaneous simul to another team, and our captain played against their team. And it was round 3. I lost the first 2 games to Talan Pologaevsky, but here, thanks to Averbakh mistake in the opening, so I grabbed the pawn and managed to keep the pawn without spoiling my position until move 45. Then the game was adjourned, and there was the result was awarded by captains. So and I remember I overlooked Bagirov and Averbakh analyzing. Bagirov was our captain, moving the pieces. And now, by the way, when I look at the computer, I just understand it's a tricky end game. It's extra pawn, but computer finds it quite difficult for white to win. But I remember when we talked about it, and I just and Bagirov said, "Come on, here it always. It's extra pawns. Do you mind?" So I was awarded this victory. And second time we played in 1982 in the Soviet Team Championship, and I managed to win an end game. So it's interesting because I reached an end game and playing against Averbakh. This is the man who was the most recognized authority on end games, and his books, Hook's Endgame. Yeah, exactly. It's on end games. It was something that this was like a mandatory read. So, I put him under pressure. Eventually, I got an extra pawn, and it was an end game. Rook and bishop and 5 pawns. Actually, when I looked at the game, saw so same as 5 pawns. This is D, E, F, G, H versus 4 pawns, E, F, G, H.
We would definitely discuss.
Yeah, rook and bishop versus rook and knight, and I wasn't sure whether it's you can really win, but the extra pawn, and I managed, just to improve my position, and I won the game. And of course, he was a referee in my match with
3 of your matches.
Exactly, actually, yes, but one was Karpov. That's I should recall, and we always had very, very good relations. So it's the man was the last of Mohicans, someone who came from the Soviet Union, but never had the same, like a Soviet stamp on him. So he was, still quiet but independent mind, and it's always, the man just with a little wisdom, but also fairly quiet, and it's not all pressing you just to accept his authority. Again, his age, would make him more demanding in respect to his opinion. But it's.
He was such a universal man as well. He had a different career, but also within chess he wore a lot of hats. In which role would you say he made the biggest impact for Russian chess as well as for the world of chess?
Well, look, it's very difficult to separate this. For me, chess is a universal game, so Soviet chess or Russian chess or global chess. So he was a great chess player. He left, his mark in the openings of the Averbakh system and against King's Indian, and also, of course, end games. And I think it's less known, but his role as a chess historian. So some of the phenomenal works, and actually I suggest for those who are interested to read his research of the of the ancient chess. So chess played is Shatranj chess, and the transformation of chess from Shatranj to modern chess. Some really phenomenal works. So I always enjoyed reading it, and because he was very scrupulous and he was meticulous in collecting details, and some of these books, just they can give you an idea so how chess transformed, just from one very slow motion medieval game that was a reflection of the military strategy at the time into some far more dynamic and modern European version.